Hi everybody, we are on week 4, which is over the hump week, and we're now into the home stretch, which is some of you are going, whew, thank goodness. So this week we're going to be doing ethics in the legal profession. Now when we look at the prosecutors have the most discretion to do what they choose to with a case. They can drop a case or dump a case, or they can make charges that overcharge, and I've seen overcharging, I've seen undercharging, and where you sit there and you shake your head each and every time. The prosecutor answers to the district attorney, which is the highest police officer in the your county, mine being Hampden County. And that person, the district attorney, has first assistants under him. And what happens is they take that, whatever the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I always like to think of it as that, is you don't get to hide evidence. Evidence is exculpatory. If you have something that shows somebody did not do, a crime, you're required to present that to the court as well. And if you don't, then you know what? You're a bad cop. And if you don't, as a prosecutor, then you're a bad prosecutor. Because in our society, we have trials for a reason. There are innocent people that are found guilty. There are innocent people that take pleas. And when we talk about pleas, we know that that's the number one thing is probation. So they take a plea or they'll take an Alford plea. And I talked a little bit about an Alford plea last week. An Alford plea is like, okay, you got enough evidence to show that I did it, but I'm not going to tell you I did it. I'm not going to admit to doing it. But I'll take a Alford plea which says you can give me a sentence. Um, and it's kind of like saying, okay, I didn't do it, but I did do it. Or I did do it, but I didn't do it. It's an Alford plea. And it's a federal, you can look that up. It's pretty interesting to see. So when we look at this and the prosecutor, are there good prosecutors out there and are there bad prosecutors? And, the prosecutors have to answer to the district attorney. And the district attorney is the highest police officer in the county, our county being Hampden County. So the prosecutors are just another arm of a police department in the criminal justice system. That being said, when we look at the Ferguson case, did he present all the evidence that he should have? Did he omit any? When it goes before a grand jury, what did the grand jury? The grand jury is 23 people that sit there and listen to information. There's not always 23 people, but you have to have at least, a quorum of people there to listen to a case. So I sat there and I've also thought about times where um, we get juries and we get people who have their own opinions of things. We are very opinionated people. So now you have a jury, and the jury is going to sit there and look at everything. How do they keep their own feelings out of it? So, on this case, we have on a case involving McCullough's father was a police officer and he was killed in the line of duty by a black man when he was 12. How does that affect McCullough as a police officer? Does that make him more fearful? Does that make him more trigger happy? How does that affect his being? How about the juror, person on the jury? Has he ever been robbed by someone and all of a sudden he's sitting on a jury that it has to do with an armed robbery? Um, we take our life's experience into the court with us, and very often it shows in the decisions that are being made. So when you do it this week, I want to ask you to think of yourself. How can you keep your bias out of the court? How do you sit there and listen to the evidence and keep your bias out? Very often I've had people say that they would never sit on a jury for a sexual assault, and that if it was on a kid, and if it was, they'd find them guilty. And then I've had people say that just so they get out of a jury. And to be honest with you, I am love being on a jury. I've made it all the way to sitting down in the jury box, but I think there's no better honor than to be non-biased and make a decision in a free society, being, judged by your peers. Yet people try to avoid it as best as possible. We also have to talk about when we have trials, we have public defenders and we have private pay attorneys. Who's better? I have to tell you, I've met some great public defenders that I think are phenomenal attorneys. I also know that if it goes up to Superior Court, very often they're given a pretty big, blank check if it's a large felony case to show that their client's innocent, while the prosecuting office has a very limited budget. So, it's double-edged sword there. So this week, if you have any questions, if you have any issues, let me know. Again, this week here, I think we're going to be going to the a test, another test for this week. And again, I would really like you to tell me if you like that or you don't like that. Good luck to you all.